Do you feel like you are not quite yet living your best life? That you want to make a change for the better, but you aren't sure where to start? Maybe you often find yourself wishing that life was less stressful and more enjoyable, but you don't know how to make it happen. Well, watch this video because I'm sharing 5 simple ways that you can reduce the overwhelm and take back control so that you can live a life that you won't want to take a vacation from. And it's easier than you might think. Hey there, I'm Sarah Jew, Master Life Coach, the founder of A Simple and Contented Life, and your mentor for making a change for the better. For the very best tips and advice on stepping out of life on autopilot and into on a purpose so that you can become your best self and live your best life. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and make sure that those notifications are switched on so that you are the first to know when my next videos go live. We all crave a life we love, a life that's less stressful and more enjoyable, one where we're not bogged down with all of the day-to-day things and work and distracted by the pressures of the daily grind, one where we actually get to spend time with people we love and do the things that we enjoy doing. But these days, life is so stressful, with diaries bursting at the seams and to-do lists that never end, bills always needing to be paid. Is it actually possible to create a life you love? Thankfully, the answer is yes. Whatever your current situation might be, whatever struggles you might be facing right now, I want you to know that there is always something that you can do to make things better. No matter how overwhelmed or unhappy you feel or frustrated, creating a life you love is easier than you might think. So in this video, I am going to be sharing with you 5 steps that you can take that will have you living a life you love before you know it. Follow these and very soon you are going to be living a life that you won't want to take a vacation from. So step number 1 is to be grateful for what you already have. The first step to happiness in creating a life you love is being grateful for the things that we have right now, instead of looking forward and thinking about all of the things that we don't yet have and the things that other people have that we would like and that perhaps makes us less successful. It's easy to associate being happier with having a bigger home, a fancier car, earning a better wage, having great holidays, and always buying the next best thing. But happiness isn't created by things or stuff. And the constant wanting of those things can make us forget how fortunate we already are. Whilst it might be nice to have a bigger home, drive a fancy car, or earn more money, they are not the things that make us rich. Being rich is about being surrounded by people that we love and who love us, our spouses, our children, our siblings, our parents, and our friends. It's the fact that we have 4 walls, a roof over our heads, and the ability to put dinner on the table every night. Being thankful for what we already have can make a massive difference to how we feel about our lives. When we stop to think about all of the things that we have and the things that we're grateful for, suddenly life becomes a whole lot better than we already thought it was. Take a moment to write down all of the things that you like about your life right now and all of the things that you have that you are grateful for. Big or small, make a list. And if you struggle to get started, try separating each area into the areas of your life. So think about what you are grateful for about your home, about your family, about the relationships that you have, what you are thankful for about the work or the job that you have or the things that you do in your spare time. And then when finished, read back through the list, and anytime you think of anything else, add to it. And then when you're having moments where you're feeling a little bit frustrated and down and that you aren't quite where you want to be at, pick up that list and read it again, and you'll be amazed by just how much more grateful and happier you feel about your life than you did beforehand. Keep the list safe and pull it out every time you need a gentle reminder. Step 2 is to ask yourself what a life you love looks like to you, because our definition of what a life is that we love, that we don't want to take a vacation from, is going to be different for everybody. None of us are going to have the exact same idea or thing that we are striving for that means we are living a life we love. And craving a life we love is all very well, but what are you wishing for when you're thinking that? What does that mean to you? Because you can't just switch things up, hoping that you are going to make a change for the better and that your life will improve without first having spent some time thinking about what a life you love means to you. And it's very easy just to start changing things up in the hope that it'll make things better. But unless you have identified what it is you want to change and why, and what you are striving towards, it's a completely pointless exercise, because you're going to get 6 months down the road totally frustrated that you aren't accomplishing the things that you want, still annoyed that you are not living a life that leaves you happy and fulfilled. Taking the time to think about what a life you love means to you before actually making any changes is key. Figure this out, and you're more likely to pick changes that will have a positive impact, and they'll be easier to implement because you can see the benefit of doing so. So, what does a happier, more contented life look like for you? Ask yourself which areas of your life you're happy with and which areas cause you stress and frustration. Think about what you like and what you don't like, what you could change, where you want to be from a year from now, and maybe 5 years now, and even 10 years from now. Think about those things and how you envision your life unfolding over the years, and ask yourself what you need to do right now and the elements and things that you need to bring in that are going to help you make those changes so that you are living a more contented life. Don't be afraid of digging deep with your answers as well, because when you are, the more honest you are about the things that you want to change, the easier it is going to be happier and more fulfilled. Living your life for other people on other people's terms, not doing the things that lift you up and make you happy, you are not going to be living a life you love. So be really, really honest with your answers, and don't be afraid of digging deep. When you begin to question how things are and start thinking about where you want to go, it becomes so much easier to work out what needs changing. It might be hard at first, and yes, it's probably going to force you to face a few home truths and a few demons and admit things to yourselves that you haven't been wanting to admit for a while. But this step is vital. It is the first step, and it is key to doing if you want to make a change for the better. So whatever you do not skip this step, because it is the springboard that helps you begin build the life that you really want. So step 3 is to be really honest about what makes you happy. Now, I mentioned that briefly in the last step, but when you are answering the question of what a life you love means to you, you have to be honest about what you really want. There is absolutely no point in making a change for the better if the changes aren't aligned with what makes you happy. It's all too easy to compare our lives to the things that other people have and the way that other people live their lives. It's easy to bow down to the demands of others just to live, to please other people and make life easier. But everybody's definition of happiness is different. What makes you happy is going to be totally different to what something else makes somebody else happy. And it just won't cut it for anybody else. By not being true to yourself, the only person that you are going to be disappointing is yourself, because you're just going to be setting yourself up for a life of regrets. So don't be afraid of being super, super honest about what makes you happy. Be honest about what you want. What are your hopes and dreams? What matters to you most? What do you want to accomplish? What career do you want to pursue? Are you wanting to start your own online business so that you can step away from your 9 to 5? What sort of relationships do you have now, or relationships do you want in the future? What do you want your home to look like? What do you envision your home being in 5-10 years' time? Giving real honest answers to these kind of questions will make it so much easier for you to answer that big question of what a life you love looks like to you. So comment below this video, what is already in your life that you are thankful for? And when you think about living a life you love, what does that look like for you? What is it that makes you happy? Let me know in the comments. Okay, step 4 is to address every area of your life. In order to be truly happy, there needs to be a balance that you are happy with across all areas of your life. It's not possible to be 100% happy all the time, because life doesn't work like that. But you should be aiming for a happy medium. And people talk all the time about finding balance. And I firmly believe that balance is not something that you find, it is something you create. And we all have the power within us to create balance. And there's a lot of things out there as well where people say that balance just isn't possible. Well, it is. And it's down to you to decide what that balance looks like for you, and then do the things in each area of your life that are going to help you do that. And one of the exercises that I do with my clients when we very first start off working together is I get them to complete my favorite coaching tool, which is the Wheel of Life. And that helps them to break down every single area of their life and look at how balanced or unbalanced it might be, and which area they need to focus on the most, which areas need their most attention. Now, there is a YouTube video I have done for this already, so I will pop a link down below to it, and also head on over to my freebie vault, because there is a workbook there that will take you through so that you can have a go at doing this exercise. But it's key to address every area of your life so that you can figure out what your happy medium is, because things are never going to be stress-free and there will always be ups and downs, and life has habits of throwing curveballs at us when we least expect it. But if you establish a level playing field and you come up with some kind of balance and happy medium that you are happy with, you will then be as happy in each area of your life as you can be. And it will make things so much easier to manage and so much easier to set goals that are going to help you up level all those areas of your life. So ask yourself what you are happy with and what you want to improve. Take a look at your finances, question your friendships and relationships and those closest to you. Ask yourself if you're really happy at work, or if it's time maybe for a career change or a different job. And if you're happy with things at home. Now, this can be a tough exercise to do, because there is a temptation when you start looking at things and pulling things apart that it's just going to bring you down, and you're going to feel frustrated that you're not where you are right now. And also that there is so much maybe that you want to change, or when you just look at your home, you're thinking about all the decluttering and the decorating and the organizing that you want to do, that it can completely overwhelm you, and you just decide that, you know what, I'm not going to do this, forget it, and you just carry on. But by doing this, yes, it may uncover a few things, but it's helping you to get started, and this is the first step to doing it. Once you have uncovered those things that you want to focus on, you then are able to figure out what you need to do next, and recognizing what you need to change in each area of your life is the first step to taking action to start creating and living a life that you love. Finally, know that change does not happen overnight, because before you start to feel overwhelmed and you can start to feel the panic setting in, remember that change doesn't happen overnight. Switching up your life to one that you don't want to take a vacation from is a work in progress, and it's going to take time, and that's okay. It's all part of the journey. As long as you know that you are taking those steps every single day, that big or small is another step closer to help you creating that life you love, you are on the right track, and you don't need to worry about all of the things that you haven't done yet. Just trust the process and know that you are dedicated to and committed to making those changes so that in the long run, you will get to where you want to be. Now, change can be scary, and stepping out of our comfort zones is not easy, especially if the thought of the changes are scarier than staying put with the status quo that you have right now, even if you're not completely happy. It can be tempting to throw in the towel and just go back to where we were when things get a little tough. But if you really want to make a change, stick with it and keep going. Take baby steps, be consistent, and make small changes every single day. Over time, you'll begin to see things improving. That will motivate you to keep you going and spur you on. And soon you will be living a life that is much happier and more contented than before. We all have the power to switch things up and create a life we love, but change doesn't happen by itself. We have to want to make a change for the better and be prepared to do the work as well. There is no point us sitting there feeling sorry for ourselves about the things that we don't have, the things that we're not accomplishing, moaning about the hand we've been dealt, if we are not prepared to do something about it. Now, it might sound a little bit tough love, but that's how it is. Either you want to make a change for the better. If you are unhappy and frustrated with the life you are living right now and you want to make a change for the better, you have to be committed to diving in and doing the work, even if it is a little bit scary. If you're just going to sit and moan about it and do nothing about it, you are going to be in exactly the same place in 5 years' time where you are right now. So it's up to you. You have a choice. And yes, like I said, it's tough love, but it is the first step to actually being committed to and saying, right, I'm diving all in and I'm going to make this happen. Follow these steps and you will be well on your way to living a life you love before you know it. Here they are again. So step 1 is to be grateful for the life you already have. 2 is to ask yourself what a life you love means to you. 3 is to be really honest about what makes you happy. 4 is to address every area of your life. And 5 is to remember that change doesn't happen overnight. And if you want a little help working through these things so that you can reduce the overwhelm, take back control, and make life less stressful and more enjoyable so that you can become your best self and live your best life, apply to work with me one-on-one. I'll show you how to discover your passions, unlock your talents, and push past all of those limiting beliefs that are stopping you from making those changes so that you can reach your full potential and be living a life that you won't want to take a vacation from. Remember, it totally is possible to do it. And I know that together we can make it happen. You will find all of the details on how to apply and work with me below this video. And if you'd like support from other women who, just like you, are working to become their best selves and live their best lives, come and join the A Simple and Contented Life Facebook group. You'll find the link to join below this video too. And I will see you next time.